Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox coming to you today with the review for Real Housewives of Potomac, season 5, episode 11. So let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys, a little bit out of order, but it'll make sense, I think, better for the review. Let's start with Ashley. Ashley and Michael, they go see a therapist because of the recent issues that they've faced. When they sit down with the therapist, Ashley says to the therapist that in the past, they've had an unconventional marriage. They've done things that a lot of other marriages just don't do, okay? Namely threesomes. However, there's always been rules to these open marriage conquest, and one of the rules was that they were always together, okay? They participated in these things together. Well, Michael has stepped outside of the rules, and he went and had an indiscretion, is how she said it, with another woman, okay? Girl, he was spreading his worms to the other lady. Anyway, so the therapist, she understands. I mean, she probably gets a lot of this in her sessions. So, okay, fine. Well, Michael, why are you doing this? Michael says, well, he feels isolated. Ashley looks at him like, isolation? She's never heard this. Now, what is this about? He says, well, you know what? The baby has kind of brought on these regulations that, he wasn't used to having. And Ashley was like, no, it's not the baby. It's just some things that I don't want to do any longer. Okay. Did that over that. She's changed a lot since she's become a mother. Happens. Okay. So yeah, she doesn't want to do that anymore, but she can't trust that Michael ain't still going to be on that. Okay. So what do we do about this? Okay. Well, the therapist says, well, Michael, why exactly do you feel like you did this? So we go back into Michael's history of his daddy issues and, typical daddy issues. You don't usually hear it from a 78-year-old man, but we're products of our childhood, right? So things that have happened to us when we were a lot younger, we carry it. And obviously, if you were to listen to Michael, he has carried it all the way into his elderly years, okay? So yeah, those are the reasons why he kind of makes these choices. And Ashley is listening like, wow, she didn't realize that. Okay. And she really admires the fact that Michael is opening up like this because she wants to be able to support him, and the fact that he's being so open means that she can support him, and she feels like they're turning the page in their marriage, and that she and Michael will grow closer and stronger because of this. Okay, so she seems pretty hopeful. Good for Michael for opening up. So later on, we see her and the baby, okay, who is cute. I know you guys, when he first came out, all newborn babies have like that strange little look. So, but yeah, he's a cutie. Anyway, she and the baby go and visit Uncle Lump. You guys know Uncle Lump is like a dad to her. We know she hasn't had her dad in her life. And so she values Uncle Lump. So she goes over there with the baby, and Uncle Lump is happy to see him. Her mom shows up with this eye patch on. Are we not going to explain why you have an eye patch on? Of course she says, oh yeah, you got your eye patch. Earlier when I talked to you, it was oozing, it was hurting. I was like, why is she holding the baby? No, you and your infection cannot hold my child. Granny, the baby gonna have to wave to you from over here. I was like, what happened to her eye? Did she got conjunctivitis? Did she, did somebody bust her in her eye? Like, what is it? And then the mom didn't even really look like her. So I was like, who is that? Like, she looked taller and thinner than she has been in the past. But anyway, yeah, you ain't hold my baby with your flicked eye. But so she sits down and she's telling her mom and Uncle Lump about the session that she had with the therapist and Michael, and how Michael opened up about his daddy issues, how his daddy loved him, but also would drink real bad. And then he would turn to another person after he was stone drunk and call Michael names and treat him a certain way and yada, yada, yada. Okay. Of course, when you are a family who is, defensive, when it comes to your child, your niece, you want to see only good things happen to them. You don't want to hear no shit about somebody's daddy issues. Okay. So Uncle Lump ain't really got too much patience for what Michael's going through or has gone through in the past. Uncle Lump was like, all that being said, Michael's a grown-ass fucking man now. He knows better, and he knows what he should and shouldn't be doing. He has a child. You guys have a kid together. We can't be worried about the fucking Michael feelings right now, okay? We got to worry about you and this baby. And that's really all Uncle Lump has to say about it. And, Mama's co-signing like, yeah, I mean, people just gonna keep on using the fact that they had a fucked up childhood to, continue to fuck up. When you know better, you got to do better. And so Ashley was like, well, I mean, I don't want you guys to think I'm going into this blindly, which I don't think Ashley is. I think she's very clear on what's going on in their marriage. She's like, I don't have a problem. I will leave him with the quickness if I have to. Okay, especially now she got this baby. And honey, she got baby number 2 on the way. She just posted a picture. She's like 20 weeks or something like that. So, she was just like, don't get it twisted. Like, bitch ain't nervous to get out if I have to. And they're like, okay. Then Uncle Lump was like, I want to talk to him. I was just like, look, Uncle Lump want to go and size him up, look him up and down and all of this. He's just hiding away. He feels like he's done something wrong, and now he doesn't want to face the consequences. You got to pay the piper. All right, so just come on and, yeah, Uncle Lump gonna have a little sit-down-zy with Mike. Now, you guys, let's jump over to Karen. So Karen is at home with Uncle Jessup. Uncle Jessup is putting out, it's funny because the show is actually lining up with what is really going on right now. So it's Halloween time on the show, obviously, last year. And we are Halloween time now. But anyway, he's putting out the big mummies and all of this and, whatever. They are actually going to go for a walk. It's a beautiful sunny day a beautiful fall sunny day in Potomac. Okay, so let's get on out and walk. Uncle Jessup was like, so how was your trip to Surrey?
Well, Uncle Jessup, that is a part of my roots. And I just know that if it wasn't for Surrey, I wouldn't be who I am today.
Okay, Uncle Jessup says, yes, the good, the bad, the ugly. Surrey is definitely where you come from. Surrey is definitely who you are. And she knows that too. She said that when she's gotten back from Surrey, she feels rejuvenated. She is ready to really work on this marriage. She wants her marriage, which I 100% believe with Karen. Okay, the jury is still out on Uncle Jessup. What are we gonna do about this disconnect that Karen and Uncle Jessup are feeling?
Uncle Jessup, I know that you not being able to say that you're in love with me. Listen, I know that I'm not the woman that you married. I'm a public figure now. I've had some successes.
Yes, that we both worked hard for.
That we both worked hard for. You worked hard for too.
Yes, I did.
I was like, here we go. You guys, let me just tell you how this conversation between Uncle Jessup and Karen had me just I was sort of in my feelings because it is just annoying to know that a man can be with a woman for 30, 40 years or however long that these two have been together, and she can be supportive to him throughout the whole thing. She has done her job. She has raised their kids successfully. They are gone out the house. Now that you got some free time, okay, then now you want to have your second win, and your husband is not supportive of that. Okay, if he's not the center of that attention, then he has a problem with it. And I'm telling you, I was just like, but see, one of you guys did point out in my comments last week that the difference, the problem that also makes this worse is the fact that he's 20 years older than Karen. So he really ain't in for the second win because he is in full-blown retirement mode. Karen's not quite there yet. Karen's what, 55, 56 years old? So now you really are seeing that there's a disconnect because he is in such a different phase of his life. He just doesn't want to deal with being supportive. But see, that just bothers me because why can't you just go on off and be retired and, let your wife do her thing and come on home and be there with you and all that? Even that is too much for him. I guess he would just really love for her to continue to dote on him. And that bothers me. But then I also have to think about the other side, which is however you set up your marriage and whatever you do in your marriage continually, and that is what they have come to expect, then a lot of times men and women, people are, they set in their ways, and that's what they think is going to happen. Yeah, she's not the same woman that he married 25 years ago, 30 years ago, however long they've been married, because she didn't have shit then. Okay? So when Uncle Jessup was just like,
I just feel like, some of this has gone to your head.
No, I am proud, but I will never forget who I am.
What's important to her, at the end of the day, is her marriage, her being with Uncle Jessup. But Uncle Jessup doesn't see it that way. And that's where definitely the disconnect is. And I honestly don't know if they'll be able to get that back, because they just are really in two different places. It's unfortunate that he feels like she's abandoned him, or, she feels like she's so big-headed because now she's on this show. He wants her to be able to balance it. I think Karen is doing her best to do that. It's not enough for him. And so because of that, I don't think that they're gonna make it, you guys. I honestly don't. And I don't think there's no hate there or anything. I think that Uncle Jessup is just over it, over Karen, over the marriage, over all of that. He wants to move to Florida. He wants to retire. He don't want to have to deal with it no more. And that's really too bad. It's kind of fucked up, but it happens. So I think Karen better start preparing herself, because I wouldn't, let me put it this way, I wouldn't be surprised if it came out that those two had decided to get a divorce. Right, so Wendy is going to host a sip and see for her little baby girl. And she is telling Eddie that she wants it to be completely big, over the top, Nigerian style. The whole culture with the head wraps and the beautiful dresses and all of the families to come. All of her family and their friends to come. Eddie is still having the issue with his family. She said that both Eddie's mom and her mom are, they are pillars in their community, and they hold a lot of influence and weight, obviously, in their community. And there was some issue. Eddie's mom and Wendy's mom got into it. She doesn't like Wendy's mother. And so she decided that Eddie shouldn't marry Wendy. Well, Eddie, loves Wendy, and that's the woman that he wants to be with. So he married her. And ever since then, he's been cut off from the family. All right. Not only just his parents, but his siblings. They decided to choose the side of the parents. And in my comments, I learned a lot. About the Nigerian. I did not know all of this was going on, you guys. I just honestly didn't know it was that serious. But many of you guys told me in the comments, both the positives and the negatives of being from something, a culture like this. Eye-opening and very interesting, actually. In real life, Wendy and Eddie have been cut off from Eddie's family. And she still is close to her mother and her family. But from what he said when he first came on the show, what has been 8 years or something like that. So they don't know the grandkids or any of that. Actually very, very sad, but it is what it is. But anyway, this party, the sip and see. So we see Wendy, she's calling the girls, calls Ashley and says that she wants her and the rest of the girls, minus Monique. Okay, we can't have Monique, not right now. But she wants the rest of the girls to come to celebrate the baby. She wants to introduce the baby to all of them. And, Ashley was like, of course I'll come and see the little chunky baby. She's ready to be there. She wants everybody to wear pink. Okay, and yeah, they're all gonna be there. So she and Eddie, they go and look at a place to host the party. She says she ain't doing it in her damn house. So they need a place that's big enough to have all of the guests that they intend on having. They go to a museum because she says that she wants her daughter to be all artsy and cultured and refined and, all of this. So why not a museum? Seems like a perfect place. So that's where they're going to have it. As far as Eddie's family, Eddie tells her that he was giving one of the boys a bath the other day, and the little boy was like, look at your beard. Like, does my grandfather have a beard? Does your dad have a beard? And Eddie was like, I suppose he could. He hasn't seen him in 8 years. He probably had a beard and got rid of the beard and had a beard again, So the little boy was like, why haven't I met Grandpa? Okay, so it's made Eddie think about it and said, you know what, I've decided that I am going to invite them to the shower. You know, Wendy would like for them to be able to bridge this gap and get their family back close together. So he takes the easy route, okay, and he just texts the mother. I'm thinking to myself that if his mother is like, in my mind, how I picture this mother to be very strong, very proud, very set in her ways. We not trying to get no invitation through text message. You know, that probably is maybe a little bit insulting. Not to say that if he called that she would have been all open in arms and happy to hear from him. Then, like, he probably wasn't going to win anyway from the way that they've described the mother. But for sure, a text message is not going to get the results that you want. You know, he was very nice. We would love to have your company. Make sure you extend the invitation to the rest of the family. Like, I got all that. But, you know, people, first of all, older people don't like technology like that. So I was just like, yeah, they ain't coming to that. They not coming to that. I could just see her telling her friends, like, do you know he had the nerve to text me of all things? You couldn't even pick up the phone and, you know. So, but he sends the invitation, and we'll see if mom comes on down. Now, Robin, nothing to see here, folks. You know, we see her with the boys. Okay. Maybe they're not the spawns anymore. You know, they're getting older. They're getting out of that old hellish age of just being a whole bunch of trouble. But they're there. They're helping her. She has started her hat business, you guys. Okay. Yes, you know, we have to use these platforms to start these businesses. And Robin has decided to make hats. I'm not laughing. I'm not hating, you guys. Get your money and your hustle, however you got to do it. You know, if the hats was bringing in the money like that, then I'm not mad. Okay, you got to start somewhere. But I was just like, hats? Is that what we... Child, anyway. Maybe it's just a clothing line or whatever. So she's packaging the stuff up and she's talking to the boys. The hat line is called Embellish, by the way. So maybe she dazzles it up with a little bit of rhinestonery and patches. But anyway, she says that her tax issues are causing her, you know, it is starting to kind of take over everything else. So what she gonna do is put the brakes on everything else. We ain't buying no house. We ain't fixing the pressure Juan to get married until she can take care of this $90,000 tax bill. Then we see Candace, you guys. Candace is on her way to talk to the prosecutor. Evidently, she has decided to press these charges, and now she has to go give her statement to the prosecutor. So she's on the phone with her mother as she's driving there, and she's emotional. She's upset. You know, she can't believe that it's come to this, that she even has to do something like this. But she doesn't feel like anything that she's done justified what Monique did to her. So she's going to go and talk to the prosecutor. But she's upset about it. Her mom tells her, listen, you can have all the feelings that you want, but we got to do what we got to do. Okay, the bitch shouldn't have hit you if that's what you know. She didn't want something like this to happen. So we see her park her car and we see her get to the prosecution's office. Later on, we see her. She goes and have lunch or dinner with her good friend Cliffy. She said she met him at Howard and they've been fast friends ever since. And Cliffy just has a really good vibe. He's very positive and upbeat and uplifting and all. And that's what she needs right now because it's been a trying day. You know, when he asks her how she is, she says, well, she had to go down to the prosecutor and she had to tell him about the scuffle with Monique. And when the prosecutors asked her if she wanted Monique to go to jail, she said she wanted her to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. So I was like, yeah, she wants her to go to jail. I was just like, wow. I mean, but Biden told you, you can beat asses all you want, but you got to be ready to face the consequences of these actions. And, you know, sometimes that might entail jail time. So, you know, you just got to make the best decision for yourself at the time. They're charging her with second-degree assault. That doesn't sound good. That sounds serious. She tells Cliffy that this is wearing on her, okay? The social media bullies is really getting to her. Monique is still out there on social media saying and doing what she's saying and doing, and it's really getting to be so bad that it got her nerves bad. She got to have stickies around the house that say, "You're okay, you're okay, you're okay." Just a reminder. And yeah, she feels like she's skating on the very edge. She says, well, what about the girls? Are the girls being supportive? She says, yeah, everybody is being pretty supportive except for Karen. And she doesn't know how to feel about that. She feels like she doesn't have Karen's full support. Well, you don't really have her full support because she is 50-50 friends with you and Monique. I told you guys Karen's gonna have a hard time staying neutral in this. People are going to expect you to choose sides. To me, it sounds like a personal problem because fuck you, I'm grown. I'm a grown-ass woman. I can be friends whoever I want to. I don't know what to tell Candace about that. Now we get to the day of the party and everybody is getting dressed. We don't know if Eddie's mom and the family are coming or not. They hadn't heard from them. You know, Eddie hasn't heard one word from the mother or any of his siblings. I think you can assume that your mama won't be, and your mama might know that you guys are filming a TV show too. You really think that this woman, proud, strong Nigerian pillar of the community, is about to come and be on a show? Oh no, absolutely not. So yeah, I don't think Eddie mama's coming. Anyways, I cracked up, you guys, when Robin got there on time and nobody was. Somebody told me in my comments that they believe that Robin was told by the producers that they were going to start fining her because she has held up production because she'll be late. I mean, she's missed flights. They showed clips when she missed flights and they, you know, a lot of things. We can't move forward if we got to keep waiting on you. That, you know, time is money, right? Robin is there and nobody else is there. I mean, it is empty. We see Eddie and Wendy. They're actually on their way there. They're in the car. Wendy realizes that, oh, it's made it to the blogs. Candace has pressed charges, second-degree assault. She was like, damn, she wanted to go to jail? Like, and Eddie was like, I mean, he's a lawyer. I mean, if that's the charges we going with, then yeah, she has a chance of going to jail. Robin is calling the girls like nobody is here. Like, I am the first. Is this what happens when you get somewhere on time? Yes, girl. But what's the funniest part is when Wendy and Eddie gets there, she was just like, the party starts at 6 o'clock. It's 7 o'clock. And Wendy was like, girl, the party don't start till 8. Look, you know how you got one of them friends that you got to give them, you know, you got to give them grace. So you got to give them a 2-hour cushion, get your ass there in them 2 hours, and then the real party starts. I had to do that for my wedding. We had one particular, one of my friends, our friend's parents, late to everything. And I had like an entrance on the staircase, and I didn't want them to be going down the stairs the time that I was going. So we told them a different time. And wouldn't you know it, right when I'm about to go down the stairs, here come their parents. Okay, we was like, can you not come down the stairs or hurry up and go down the stairs so I can go down, child? Just what we was trying to avoid, it still happened. But I think we only gave them a 30-minute, but we should have gave them, even more time. But anyway, so Robin's ass was there 2 hours earlier. Bravo was not playing with that ass. The rest of the girls get there with the exception of Candace. She's not quite there yet, but Karen and Giselle, Ashley, and Wendy, they were like, did you see that Candace pressed charges? And, you know, Giselle was just like, yeah, I mean, I read that. And, you know, the charges come with all this jail time. And, you know, if she's if she's found guilty and all of this. I'm just like, why are you guys acting like, I mean, what do you think happens when you tell somebody to press charges? You didn't pump the girl up, not saying that she should or shouldn't do it. I mean, that's whatever, but you guys tell her that she's supposed to do it, and then you be like, oh, but we didn't want, I mean, you thought this was for play? Nigga, this is the real fucking world. I'm going to the real county courthouse, and I'm going to press real charges, and it's going to be real results from it. So, like, you know, so stop playing for the TV. Karen is listening to this and she's uncomfortable. So she kind of gets up and walks off like, I need some water. Can I have some water? We see Candace and her mom and Chris get there. And, she's just sort of like, hey, everybody. Oh my gosh, hey. You know, she's giving everybody a hug and everybody's like, oh, the elephant is in the room. Like, really? You pressing charges, girl? Wendy introduces her mother to everybody, and, the mom is telling them, where she comes from. Is it called the tribe? I don't want to be disrespectful. Whatever it is that it's called, very much like Wendy had already described, so everybody is just listening. I said, do not challenge that mama. Okay. Mama looked like she plays no games. But we're going to get the party started. Wendy gets up there. She says that she wants her daughter to grow up to be just like her mother and her sister, who were like the strongest and the most beautiful and the smartest women that she knows. And then we get the party going. Okay. Everybody gets in line. Everybody's getting the food. They know some things, don't know some things. Just put the shit on your plate and eat it. I be tired of hearing when people be like, what is this? What is this? What is you're at a different culture's thing, just if it bothers you that much, just eat the shit that you recognize. You know what rice look like, don't you? Okay, just because really. So anyway, we sit down, we eat, and then we finally get to talk to Candace about pressing these charges. So girl, we saw that you pressing the charges. And she was just like, yep, sure am. Okay, it happened much faster than I thought. I didn't think that it would hit the news, the blog so quickly. Okay. And Giselle says, well, so the whole thing is you're pressing these charges. Did you want her to go to jail? She was like, I want them to prosecute to the fullest extent of the law. And they were like, well, we don't know if we want her to go to jail. I was just like, well, what did you want to happen from pressing charges? Did you think it was going to be a civil suit? I guess it could still eventually be a civil suit. But if you feel assaulted, if you feel attacked, then that's, I ain't got time to be trying to tell these girls how the words that they use is going to influence the decisions of this child. So Candace was all sort of like, oh, we don't want her to go to jail? Since when? Ashley jumps in. I'm just like, Ashley, nobody wants to hear your opinion right now. You and Candace, y'all wasn't able to get y'all shit 100% back on track because of all the drama that's been going on. You weren't even there to witness. You just really going on hearsay. Girl, just take the finger. Just be invisible. But, Ashley has to say, you can be aggressive and you've done things to me and said things to me. Okay, nobody is talking about you. Of course it's going to go left. Candace was just like, girl, you weren't there and you need to not even say shit about it. Oh, I guess she must be being paid by Monique. Are you her voice for the night? Are you here to speak on Monique's behalf? She must be getting paid. And Ashley says, I'm already married to a millionaire, so what do I need to get paid for? And Candace says, not for long, all right? And then Chris was like, look, we already had a conversation about this. Be quiet. Shut up. Do not say anything else. Okay? Why can't you just be quiet? Chris doesn't want it to go here. Able to talk Candace down off that ledge. So Candace reroutes. She regroups. She changes her approach. Listen, I understand that you're Monique's friend, Ashley, and that you want to be supportive of her. I get it. It's just that you should be careful when you support something when you don't even really know what exactly happened. You don't know what any of this is about. So we try to express ourselves in an adult-like way. So it takes some of the heat out of the conversation. So that cools that down. Then she turns over to Karen and she says, and as for you, Karen, you said that you would talk to Monique.
Well, Candace, when I talked to Monique, I did tell her that she needed to apologize.
Yeah, but you shouldn't have to coax a grown-ass woman into doing the right thing and saying sorry. Robin says, well, Karen, did your opinion of anybody change? Throughout this whole incident?
Well, I can say that it has changed. But right now, while we're in the middle of everything, I am just hoping that everybody will respect my wishes and I'm not going to speak on it. I'm asking you to respect me as the person in the middle because it is the worst position to be in.
What she should have said is, yeah, I hate the fact that Monique and Candace got into that fight. That two of my friends that I enjoy equally are now at odds and I'm in the middle. All right. I respect both of them and I don't want to go against either one. That's what she should have said. But now just saying I'm not going to speak on it, well, it makes it seem like you're really on Monique's side. I don't know if I feel like Karen is on Monique's side. She's just trying to be supportive of both her friends. Candace just really wants her to just dig in her heels and just be like, no, is 100% Monique's fault. But whatever, you know, the party is the party, and you know, they all have a good time. Eddie gets up there, thanks everybody for coming, dismisses everyone, and when everybody leaves, he sits down with Wendy and says, yeah, well, his parents didn't show up, his family didn't show up, but he doesn't want it to take the fun out of the day. He doesn't want it to take the beauty out of the day. He's got his wonderful kids, his beautiful brand new daughter, his beautiful wife. He's happy with her, and that is all that matters. And Wendy agrees. It was a great day, and they did it big like they wanted to. All right, you guys, that is it. Let me get off of here. I've got work to do, real work, and I got to get that going. So I wanted to do this early this morning so I can have the rest of my day. You guys make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel is for itsrox. Everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, rock stars. Bye.